Welcome back to Opening Statements. And this morning, we're spotlighting the 2-year anniversary of Kyle Rittenhouse's acquittal and the mixed reaction to his book announcement. Court TV was there in Kenosha, Wisconsin, when the teenager shooting of 3 men became a focal point for our criminal justice system.
The word victim is a loaded word. And I think alleged victim is a cousin to it.
You're carrying it concealed, are you not?
That is correct.
It's unlawful for you to carry it concealed. Is that not true?
Unlawful?
There were 3 people right there.
I was astonished when you began your examination by commenting on the defendant's post-arrest silence. That's basic law. It's been basic law in this country for 40 years, 50 years.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty.
Members of the jury, are these your unanimous verdicts? Is there anyone who does not agree with the verdicts as read?
Now, Kyle Rittenhouse announced the release of Acquitted this week, saying, quote, "My case split the nation into opposing sides fueled by emotions, politics, and misconceptions driven by media and political figures. Today, I want you to learn the truth and know the real and honest version of my story without filters or an agenda," end quote. Now, reaction online has been split. Someone posted on X, quote, "I just don't understand how anyone can milk the deaths of 2 people for every dime they can get," end quote. But many people are defending Rittenhouse, like this user who said, quote, "This country needs 1 million more like you." We have a very special guest we want to bring in now, someone who knows Kyle Rittenhouse very well, his attorney, Mark Richards. We saw Mark in action in the criminal trial. Mark, good morning. Thank you for coming on the show today. And might I just start by saying, in terms of advocacy, it was really, really great watching you in the courtroom. You did a remarkable job advocating for him on a very, very tough, very emotionally charged case. So certainly we know that he's very grateful to you for all of the great lawyering you did in the courtroom. And it's my understanding you're still representing him, Mark. Would you tell us about that, where your representation stands with Kyle this morning, please?
He's being sued by Anthony Huber's father or estate, and Gage Grosskreutz and Rosenbaum. We believe, we haven't been served with that suit, and I'm in charge of representing him in federal court in the Eastern District of Milwaukee.
Understood. Okay, so on those civil matters, then, you're representing him as well. Curious, Mark, did he ask for your advice before writing this book?
He asked me, he talked to me about it. I read the book before it went to the publisher. I did write the foreword for the book. And I have no problem with him writing the book. He lived it. He, in many ways, paid for it. And it's his story to tell.
What can you tell us about Kyle's motivation for it? What was really the driving force for wanting to go into that very time-consuming process of putting pen to paper and putting his story out there?
I think he wanted more of the whole story told. You know, I represented Kyle from almost the beginning until the trial, and that was 15 months approximately. And when I read that book, there were a lot of things in there that I didn't know. And about his childhood, I knew he wasn't raised with a silver spoon, but I had no idea the level of poverty and the homelessness and things like that. And to where Kyle is and was going before this happened, I think it's a credit to Kyle and kind of his wishes to go forward and not repeat some of the same mistakes that maybe his father and his mother did by marrying young, having children so young, and not being able to supply a home for them.
Mark, your closing argument was excellent. We've got a clip from the trial from where you're talking about one of the men that Kyle shot was, you used the word hell-bent on violence. Let's go back to that clip and watch it together now.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the case. There was no threatening behavior that started this. Mr. Rosenbaum was hell-bent on causing trouble that night. He did what he did, and he started this. There are tragic parts of it, but Kyle Rittenhouse's behavior was protected under the law of the state of Wisconsin.
Mark, even though you all were legally victorious, certainly I'm sure you would acknowledge this is one of those cases where there are no winners. It's a very sad situation. Lives are lost. People are devastated. I'm curious, what, if anything, was not allowed to come into this trial and is not part of the narrative that the public understands it to be, that maybe you can speak to now at this point that the case has been closed? Is there anything we didn't get to hear?
I mean, there were things that were brought up in pretrial motions about Mr. Rosenbaum and some of his things that he did before this night, near in time and further back. That I think tells the whole story, but we were still able to develop the story. There's things about Mr. Huber that didn't come in his violent past, and that is going to be a huge area of litigation in the civil case. There were protesters, there were rioters, and there were instigators, and I'll leave it to the jury and the community to put these individuals into those specific categories, but I have my feelings.
Do we hear about any of that in Kyle Rittenhouse's book? Does he address any of the things that may not have made it into the trial?
I would say not much. It's more of I read the book from more of a perspective of Kyle and what he was living through as these things went on. If there's one rip on the book, I would say he didn't spend enough time talking about the trial, but that's because that's about me. So I'm a little biased.
Spoken like a true trial attorney. I want to go back, to an interview that a family spokesperson for the Rittenhouse family did with our Court TV team there outside of the courthouse after the decision from the jury came. And the spokesperson was talking about how Kyle Rittenhouse intended to continue his plans to enter the medical field. Let's take a look.
Law enforcement, is that in Kyle Rittenhouse's future, or
No, his future...
Seemed like it was maybe before this incident.
His future is bright. He is innocent. He's been acquitted. He's in school. He's taking his prerequisites for nursing, and he wants to go into the medical field.
Okay, Mark, is that still the case for him?
He's working. He's trying to support himself. He's, everybody thinks that Kyle got so much money from this and things like that. Whatever money he did get is gone. And he's living, I don't want to say paycheck to paycheck, but he's living trying to support himself. Obviously, as his lawyer and somebody who I want to do well, I hope he does re-engage in his studies, but right now he's working full-time. He's living a law-abiding life, and he's doing something that he enjoys. And obviously I'm biased regarding education. I believe it's so important. But I would be happy for Kyle if he lives a law-abiding, safe, and happy, productive life.
Definitely. I think everyone wants to see that for him. I want to talk to you about Judge Bruce Schroeder, Mark. He announced his retirement. That's got a lot of people talking too. What do you say to any critics who felt like he may have given your client any preferential treatment?
He gave us a fair trial. and he didn't kowtow to the state. He did what he believes was correct. I believe he did what is legally correct. And his mannerisms or his kind of aw shucksness, country lawyer, country judge, kind of rubbed some people the wrong way. But, you know, I've been on the other side of Judge Schroeder where I came up in second. And, you know, he calls them the way he sees them. And we were happy to have him as a trial judge. I don't think he was swayed by public opinion. I don't think he was swayed by the press clippings or the amount of press that this case got. And to me, that's all we could ask for. He did deny some of mine and Corey's motions. The motion regarding Kyle possessing the firearm, it was only a misdemeanor charge, but we litigated that case from the beginning to the end, and we didn't finally win it until the day of jury conference. So it was a hard-fought trial. I think if the public is up in arms about him, they really need to look more at the facts of this case. And the way they lost was because of the facts and the law in the state of Wisconsin, not the judge.
Right. The law is what it is. And Mark Richards, we would love to have you back on the show, and perhaps we could talk about some other cases and have you do some analysis on some of the other big cases that are in trial and making headlines in true crime. Thank you for your time this morning and for being so candid with us. Attorney Mark Richards, every good wish to you and happy Thanksgiving to you and yours.
To you too. Have a good day.
Thank you kindly.